everyone. Happy Tuesday. We are excited yet again to be here with our podcast, The Encouraging Woman. She Speaks Live Interaction with Dr. Storm.
Ashley D.
Come on now. Today, what's today? Today's Tuesday.
It is.
Man. Tuesday is like one of our favorite days of the week. I mean, today was just like one of the busiest days, but I was productive today. I was so proud of myself. I got all my work accomplished. I was like, Dr. Storm, I feel good today.
Listen, you did it.
I did it.
I don't even think this was a stress day. It was one of those days where we just got some stuff done.
Yeah.
And it's been a heck of a week, but today was good.
Today was definitely good. I was like, I say, Dr. Storm, I'm going to get this done, that done before I make it to the podcast. And she was like, okay, girl.
I'm like, you going to do all that? And she did all that.
And I did. I didn't get to hit the gym, though. That's the only thing I did not like. I was like, oh, man. But it's okay. We still on our mission. We got summer 2024 coming. So you got to have something body ready. So anyways, so today is a special day.
Oh, my God.
I mean, this is like Sisterhood Month.
Yes.
Number one with our sorority and International Women's Awareness Month, right? Yes. So I think this was like such a befitting actual episode for our special guest that we're having today. I think about the journey of us making it to Delta Land, and then like all the women that have really kept molding and guiding us and mentoring us, and who really have stuck by us. And as I was thinking about today's podcast, Dr. Storm, I was like, man, Dr. Nethel is one that's just like, oh, she gonna, you know what I mean? She gonna hit you with the right and left, and she gonna make sure you get back up and you gonna finish it. Yeah. And then at the same time, I was thinking about the time frame when I lost my brother. And I mean, the sorority, they definitely just surrounded themselves around me. Like, even though I was like not as present, I was dealing with so much in life. But when I say Dr. Nethel was like, where you at? I gotta lay my eyes on you. Like, and I was like, who, me? I was like, who, me? And she was there, and I don't care how busy her schedule is.
She's made the time. She
gonna pick up that phone and she gonna say, what's wrong? You okay? Like, and I know it's the same for you. Like, I know you have your own just testament.
Nobody can tell me about Dr. Stephens.
No.
Nobody.
No.
She is amazing. She's a phenomenal woman, spiritual. I mean, her walk is unmatched.
Yes.
Business is untouched. So knowledgeable. It's just an honor to even
just be
tangible with her.
Listen, to be in room, I'm like, you want me to come? Okay, I'm coming right now. Let's go. Like,
I don't care what I'm doing. I would drop everything in a drop of a dime when she called, because it's one of those things when you meet genuine people that has a heart to just see you win.
That's it.
And I think that's one of the most beneficial things about Dr. Nethel Stephens is that she just want to see you win.
That's it.
With no hidden agenda. And on top of that, she's tangible. But what I like the most about her, what I love the most about her is that she's tangible enough to say, you know what, hey, let's tweak some things. She gonna tell you when you're wrong, and she gonna tell you when you're right, but she gonna cover you when you're wrong. And she gonna praise you when you're right. And then she gonna say, the Bible says,
according to Acts. So I just love it. Like, oh my gosh, we're gonna talk so much more about her. Like, there's so much we can say. But this woman is what I call a phenomenal woman. Amazing. Like, you know what? What's her name? Maya Angelou wrote that.
She's Maya Angelou.
She was talking about this woman right.
All of it. The phenomenal woman that is Dr. Nethel Stephens in the flesh, and we're just so grateful to have her, and outside of the spiritual aspect of everything, just to have her with the financial knowledge also, because when we went through MoreNopoly and we spoke about MoreNopoly also and how it was just so transformational for us, and during those 40 days of just fasting and learning, I remember telling Dr. Stephens, I'm like, oh my God, you know, people would pay thousands of dollars for what you're giving the world for almost free. It's $40 for 40 days, which I believe that people would charge thousands of dollars.
Absolutely.
So outside of the spiritual aspect, the mentor aspect, I just made a post. I say she 1,000 things to me, and I probably the time say about 10.
Yes.
But just the knowledge.
Man, she got a wealth of knowledge. Like I just pray that one day that I am able to like just spit out the Bible the way she does. Man, I was sitting in church and I'm like, ma'am, like I want to get to that level to where I'm able to just go and just be on fire. Like that is my goal. That is my prayer for myself.
But you know what? They always say everybody has a story.
They do.
And when you hear her story and from where she has come from and the things that she had to overcome, and just because when God calls you to do something,
come on now.
And sometimes you feel like you're not ready, but he tells you daughter now or son now.
Yeah.
And I love her obedience to not only to her assignment, but to people. And for one person to be so tangible to so many people, it is so amazing.
Yes.
And I believe that we better bring her up because we the whole hour we can talk about Nethel Stephens, Dr. Nethel Stephens. But she is truly a breath of fresh air. She is amazing, and she's just, as I always say, she my Maya Angelou.
Come on now.
How Oprah say, Maya Angelou is her Maya Angelou. Yes. Dr. Nethel Stephens is Maya Angelou.
Yes.
My Michelle Obama.
Listen, I agree. I totally agree. But well, first of all, Dr. Nethel Stephens, she's a business owner.
Ooh,
she's a mom. She is a mentor. She is all the above and everything that I feel that we just seek to become one day. And I just thank God.
Big shoes.
Hold on, wait. And she's our president.
Ooh.
Of our chapter. Ooh. The North Broward County Alumni chapter of Delta Sigma. Theta.
Come on now.
Sorority Incorporated. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know. I don't give my chapter a shout out, but I had to give it one today. But without no further ado, let's bring on Dr. Nethel Stephens.
I am so excited. I mean, just with the introduction alone, listen, I'm just excited. And I thank, God for the opportunity to be available. When Storm and Ashley called, I just was like, okay, I don't care what I'm doing. I am going to make sure that my schedule is clear to join you tonight, because it's an honor and a privilege. A lot of times we're talking about how people often pour back and give to us, but the greatest gift to any mentor, the greatest gift to any leader is to see the reproduction or to see the people that they're working with even go further than they can ever imagine. And so to look at you two ladies and what God is doing in your life, and just the tenacity that you guys have and the fortitude, it's an honor and a privilege to be here.
See, we should have had our tissue box.
Listen, I thought about it already about the fact. I was like, we did not grab our tissue box.
You know what? I think this is going to be the episode that you actually see us as that in a childlike mind, just sitting at the table and just eating the fruit of the land.
Come on,
So we're gonna hop right into it.
Let's go.
Dr. Stephens, look, y'all, I'm excited. I'm just honored. But Dr. Stephens, we always talk about you, but I always say that Dr. Stephens have such a powerful story. Who is Dr. Nethel Stephens?
Talk about it.
Listen, let me tell you something. I always say, I have the best mom and dad in the world, but I also have step parents that are like parents. And so I say, God gave me 4 parents because he knew what he had put me on this earth to do. And so a lot of times when people see you, and we always hear people say, you see the glory, but you don't know the story.
Come on now.
I think the greatest tenacity of any individual, how character is born, how integrity is birthed, is you have to have gone through the fire.
Yes.
And so I think my life, that what people are seeing now in my 50s, yes, I am 51. I know
you look good. She looks good.
But I am 51. And I think what people are seeing now is the result of all the things that I've endured, all of the things I've experienced, all of the things that I've gone through. Even what I'm walking in and doing, just even from a professional standpoint, is based off of all the things in trial and error. You've gone through career changes. You've gone through different professional experiences. And at some point, you wake up unfulfilled and you say, God, I know it has to be more. And so I think that I'm in the God, it has to be more phase of my life. Having gone through so many different things, challenges, just I'm a single parent, I always loved God, always did things, but hey, I got pregnant when I was in college. Boom, that was the first thing that was supposed to knock me out, because now you are a statistic, you're having an unwed baby, so now you're not supposed to finish school, and no, but you've gone on, you've transitioned, you've gotten right back up. That's what tenacity does. It teaches you how to get back up. And not be defined by your circumstances. And so through all of that, coming out, graduating college, going straight through getting a master's, getting a doctorate degree, going through all of that, and still finding your way in your career and finding your path. I always say, I think I don't work for everything. I don't rent another property. I don't work for the Seminole Tribe of Florida. I don't work for the federal government. I don't work for corporate America. I've done it all. And I'm like, oh, Lord, what is this? And it's sometimes when your call is so great and you're multidimensional, and it's only after, Paul says that when he went through everything he went through, he says that, and we know that all things work together for the good. And you can only say that after you've gone through some things. So I think that everything that I've gone through, losing my house, how you're young, you're professional, they don't this, Dr. Storm and Ashley, they teach us how to go to school and they teach us how to get an education, but they're training us how to be employees. They don't teach you how to deal with and manage what you have. That's something that I think financial literacy has to be something that we start embedding from elementary school.
That's right.
We teach people how to be consumers, but we never teach them how to be producers. After I've lost things financially, after having all of the income, and you go through all the shame and the guilt, and you're trying to figure out how to rebuild, it's from all of those experiences that what I'm walking in today was birth. It's through all of that. Through every no, through every closed door, through every loss, through every setback. It's what has really shaped and molded what you see today.
Yeah. That's amazing, Dr. Stephens. I heard you say from losing a home and just at a point of just losing so many different things in a time period. How did you overcome that? I know that you said that, Christ is first, but when you think about somebody losing their home, and it's almost like a domino effect, a lot of people try to commit suicide, They do. And you're standing strong as not only Dr. Nethel Stephens, but you're standing strong as a woman of God to say, listen, I have been through this, and you don't look like you've been through none of that. So during that time period, what was it that got you through? Because I know sometimes it's like, I'm going through this, but we don't sometimes look like what we've been through.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so it was a very, 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 very critical, very crucial, and a very delicate time in my life. I was believing God, trusting God. I was teaching the word of God. I was standing on faith, quoting scripture, sowing seed, biggest tithe payer, doing all of that. But I still lost my house. My car still got repossessed because while I was doing all of that, nobody was teaching me how to be a good steward over what was happening.
That's good.
And so what I experienced during that time or that phase in my life, most people jump off of a building. You go from making six figures, you got a house and a car, and we've been taught that we're defined by the material things that we have. It's what you drive and where you have it. And I got a daughter it's just was so much going on. But it was at that time I could remember, I was like, oh, child, if I don't wake up, I'm okay. I didn't want to commit suicide, but I didn't care if I woke up. And it was at that point, I could not sleep. I had insomnia so bad that I said, Lord, I'm going to get me some sleeping medicine. And if you break through this sleeping medicine, then you really God. I took the sleeping medicine and could not go to sleep.
Oh, wow.
It was a counter effect.
I could not go to sleep. I'm like, and then I finally say, Lord, what is it? And I can remember crying out and I say, God, if you get me through this, I promise you I'll be a better steward. And it was at that time I went on a 40-day financial fast.
Okay.
Wow. It was at that time I had lost my house, lost my car. I had to pack up my whole house and go live into a bedroom, me and my daughter, at my mom's house.
Wow.
And it was that I did a 40-day financial fast that I was not unveiled to the world until 13 years later.
Wow.
But it was when you've come to the end of yourself. That's what I can say. When you've come to the end of yourself and you've come to the end of who people have defined you as.
Right.
That is good.
And you really lose yourself and you let go. Christ said, I didn't even come to do my own will. I'm laying down everything I've come to do because I've come with a greater purpose. It was when I really came to the end of myself and I really let go of the opinions of how people going to see me, what they going to say about me, all the degrees I have. When I let that go and I really cried out and say, Lord, and I went on that 40-day financial fast, that's when I said, okay, now I can make it.
Right. Yes. And we talk a little bit, Dr. Stephens, in reference to the 40-day fast. I remember just last year when Dr. Storm and I decided to go ahead and take MoreNopoly, and Dr. Storm was like, Ash, we got to be up at what time? 5:30. And I was like, Storm, I'm tired. I want to have finances. I want to see my savings. I want to see my money in my account. I made way too much money for me to not have any money. You understand what I'm saying? And becoming a better steward of my finances was just something that really stuck and honed in to us about how we're going to get through this terrible cycle that we've been going through. Yeah. So I want you to tell us about MoreNopoly. Like, what is MoreNopoly all about? And we're going to tell about our experience just because the audience needs. This is something that I truly feel that every person that's connected to myself, Dr. Storm, Dr. Nethel, you guys need this. Yeah. Like, I've never been one to like promoting, but when I say Dr. Nethel has something that's just going to bless the next person, we could, like we just said, if we could just bless one person with this MoreNopoly, we've done our job.
That's right. That's right.
But I want you to tell me about this MoreNopoly and just the financial freedom in your journey, because when I tell you, I'm just always amazed at your story and the things that you are accomplishing beyond just the professional aspect. But we want to hear about that, Dr. Stephens.
So right now, if you're listening, if you know anybody that is not financially free, you need to share the video. One of my favorite quotes is by Nelson Mandela. And he says it like this: overcoming poverty is not a task of charity. It is an act of justice.
Yes.
And because after year after year after year, I got tired of seeing people make declarations in church, quote scriptures, name it and claim it, and they still go home and they're broke. They still go home and they barely can pay their bills. They still go home and they are living above their means. I thought about, listen, poverty is an act of justice. And then he goes on to say that sometimes it falls on a generation to be great. You can be that great generation. And when I think about that, I thought about MoreNopoly. It is just a passion to help people not just be consumers. And what really pushed me to really unveil the 40-day financial fast was, I thought about it. Blacks make up 42 million African Americans in the U.S. Wow. 14% of the population. It's 50 million Hispanics, which is 16%. Blacks is the second largest minority group in the country, yet we own this asset. It's like a burning in me. We have a $1.7 trillion buying power. 1.7 trillion. We spend $2 billion on Air Jordans, $4 billion on liquor and alcohol, $600 million on fast foods. Wow. But listen, all of that I just said, checking accounts are our only assets.
Wow.
69% of Americans have less than $1,000 in a savings account. 34% of them don't even have a savings account at all. So when you look at all of that, when I looked at how much we have in spending power, and I looked at how much we spent on consumer items, and I found that our liquid wealth is only $200, I got a righteous indignation. And I said, this stops here. And I thought about it when Nelson Mandela said, sometimes it falls on a generation to be great.
Yes.
And I said, that's my mandate in life. I love business consultant. I love doing all the things I do at the church. But the mandate in life is to get people from being consumers to producers.
Producers.
Yes.
Then I went to look at, when you look at the lifespan of $1, in a Jewish community, in the Asian community, it's 28 days.
Mm-hmm,
in the Jewish community, it's 19 days. In the Black community, it's 6 hours. We got a problem, Houston.
Wow.
And so that is why the 40-day Monopoly fast was birthed. It is because of that. In 3 John 1 and 2, it says that, beloved, I pray that you are prospering in every way. The Passion Translation does it that way, to the degree that your soul prospers.
Yes.
And so we're always teaching people, okay, you need to do this. You need to go to college. You need to get a degree. And I love college. I have more degrees than the thermometer.
Right.
But what I am saying is, when you've done all of that, if you've not learned how to steward and properly steward what you have, it doesn't matter. You can have all the degrees and you still broke.
That's right. That is right.
So really a stewardship issue. It's about teaching people how to be financially free, which is different from being debt free, because financial freedom is really about buying back your time.
Right.
And so it's really a journey to help people, instead of turning down your plate for 40 days, we're turning down spending. You can't go to no malls. You can't go to no Home Goods. You can't go to no Amazon. You got to delete all the apps. The Go app, the Nike app, the Amazon app. All of the things that cause
you see how we still moving around.
Use no credit card for 40 days. No debit card. Some people use it for gas. That's fine. It is cash spending only.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And
the reason why we afflict that flesh with that money, because it is a process that helps individual chip away at their mindset.
Yeah. Yes. And I think Dr. Storm and I, we're over here like, woo, it's fast.
But it's
a good thing, y'all. Understand, it was a good experience. It was just it made me so much more disciplined with my finances. Even to this day, I told Dr. Storm, I said I make my own breakfast in the morning and I make my own coffee, because I was to the point where I would buy Dunkin' every morning. Dr. Nethel, that was like $20 a day, because I had to buy something for my son too. So that was literally how much I was spending every day. And my lieutenant got me a very nice Keurig machine. And that is how I drink my coffee every morning. So I've been saving so much more money just from those small changes. Like you always told us, that small change will stick with you. And however long it takes to break a bad habit of spending money. Yeah. So I believe that once we hit that 40th day, it was like, I was so blessed and honored at the moment, because I said I had never done anything like that ever in my life. Like a whole 40 days. Like, I mean, right now we're in Lent. So at the end of the day, for me, I was just like, this is good. It was powerful. It was so inspiring, just in the fact that I accomplished the savings challenge that we did. And reading the Proverbs every day. We ain't gonna tell it all, but reading the Proverbs every day was just like, I know it was. We gotta make sure the next people that take the next cohort, they know what's coming. Just we don't want to give y'all too much, but it is really good.
I think now, I when someone says they want to spend something, the first thing I said, well, do you have $1,000 in your savings account?
That's it.
And it's almost like, I'm not trying to be funny. Yeah. But do you have $1,000 in your savings account? And a lot of people look at me crazy, but when you think about it, when those emergency funds is not available, and you're trying to figure it out, but you got the freshest Louis, or you got the freshest Nike, or like you said, consumers versus being a producer. Yeah. So it was powerful. It still is, because we still carry what we have been taught into this day. Yeah. Believe in it wholeheartedly. And I know that, God does everything at the right time, man. Because when we transitioned and went through the 40-day fast, I'm like, it's the summer for me. And as an educator, I sleep over the summers. And I had just graduated, but not knowing that it was going to be so transformational for me that I just remember nights that I just cried, because at that particular point, I remember saying, well, why is I'm doing a 40-day fast when I don't even have nothing to myself? I don't have no money to spend. So people look at us and think that, you know, when you own certain things, you just have all the money in the world. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
But not knowing that God was using me for a transitioning that I was going through that I needed right before school, where I was able to maintain a portfolio. But I went through an obedience of 40-day fast with MoreNopoly. And I am so grateful because it literally had to rip me apart to put me back together again.
It did.
And that's what it's about. The fast is really about teaching people how to expand their capacity for more.
Yes.
Because what happens is we spend so much time developing the external part of who we are, but life is about living from the inside out.
Yeah.
But everything we know teaches us to live from the outside in. And that type of living is why people are overwhelmed, have anxiety, they're depressed, because we're always trying to meet a demand or an expectation of other people, organizations, our family, and even ourselves that are literally unrealistic. But MoreNopoly teaches you how to really begin to chip away in an old mindset and how to transform your life. And that transformation starts from the inside. When you start really understanding the things that we have depended on all of our life.
Right.
The things that we've been trained. This is success for you. This is what matters. This is how you're defined. This is when the world have said you have made it. You know, especially in the world of social media, the likes and the do all of that, and you following all these people and they ain't got nothing. They living in their mama basement. And so it really teaches you what we think is success is not success. No, and that's what we teach people. Financial freedom is time freedom. What good is it that you're spending all of your time working to make a living, but you're not living?
Man.
Right. Dr. Stephens, we have a question for you.
Yes.
Someone says, that's absolutely true. I took a financial course and got different advice from financial planners to begin my journey. And she also asked, any advice on encouraging us to produce financial prosperity? Because she said, we won't come together and team up to purchase properties and businesses and etc. So what advice do you have on encouraging us as a people to produce financial prosperity?
That's why I like to really start with the individual, because what often happens is the type of individual you are as an individual is the type you move into your business.
Right.
And so if you're not a good steward over your personal finances, then you take that same behavior in your business. What do you mean, Dr. Stephens? If you're spending more than what you're bringing out and you are a consumer, that can be on anything. And I don't even care if you have it. Like me, I had to retrain myself when I start teaching the 40-day fast because I am big at spending on my American Express Platinum Clause. Why? I got to pay it off every month. Just because you can afford expense don't mean you need it.
Correct.
And I always tell people, if your house ain't paid off, if your car ain't paid off, you ain't got no business spending all the money you spend as a consumer. Wow. So Nethel, stay out of Fendi spending $15,000 when you still got a mortgage. That makes absolutely no sense. Take that money and invest it in an asset producing. See, things that are on our sheet, in MoreNopoly, we teach you how to do a balance sheet. We teach you how to do all of that because things that we call assets are really liabilities. And so the first step in terms of producing financial prosperity is make sure you're really financially free.
That's right.
That means that you're not charging and you're living. 66% of the people live off credit cards. That's how they make it from month to month.
The credit cards.
Until you know your personal cash flow. What do you mean? Know every expense that you have, what your income, and you know wherever your money go, you're not ready. And so what happens a lot of times, these partnerships don't work and people want to buy in and do things together, but they're just not, they're putting on fronts like they're actually able to do that and they're financially not. But I think when you really grab a hold and you understand that money is only a tool and you tell it what to do, then we can start seeing the partnerships where we can really develop the level of prosperity. So that's why I wanted to start with the individual first. Because when we get people free people move a little different. So now I can say, okay, everybody that has gone through MoreNopoly, now let's sit at the table and have a meeting. What can we buy? Because now you had that mindset to be like, okay, I'm no longer just an employee or a slave. Now I understand that I am now a producer.
Yes. Yes.
Producer. Dr. Stephens, I think MoreNopoly was so transformational for me because I went into this school year and my focus, I tell anybody, my focus for Red Learning Academy is not sports. Mm-hmm. It is teaching my babies how to be producers versus consumers. Because when we can tap into that at a young age, we could create millionaires at a young age where they're watching their dollars because they like to spend our dollars. But what happens, I always say what happens with a child is 17, 18, and the school system pushes them out into this world, and then now they have to figure it out. Yeah. Our goal is to make sure that we teach them financial prosperity, where it's a generation where you got to go back, and when you talk about your children and your children's children, I think Beyonce said it when she said her grandbabies is already on the Forbes list. Come on, talk about it. But we don't have that, especially within our homes or within the education system, because the only thing that you really think of, well, I know how to spend money, or I got this big gold chain, or I'm buying these $1,000 wigs, but where's your portfolio? Yeah. Show me what's in your portfolio. Come on.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing I noticed. Like, you have so many individuals that will have the flashy items and not have a portfolio, or even able to produce anything from a bank account. Oh. They say bank account, they have Cash App instead. Oh. So this is something that I truly feel that it's really going to show and help improving our society. Like, you're not just doing it just for the people you know, you're doing it for the entire community, for the world. This is something that I believe is going to go global. And from the moment we took it, I was just like, from the time you created the flyer, I was just like, we got to do it. We got to join in. We got to get on this. We can't miss out on this blessing that God has for us.
Blessing.
Listen, because
that's still overflowing.
Because even present day, and I'm just looking at my account, I'm like, look at God. Won't he do it? And we're going to believe by faith that my actual student loans are going to be canceled out very, very soon.
Right. That's right.
Very soon.
Right. And that's what it's really about. It's about really having that process of, accountability, because when people are fasting, I'm looking at them like, I don't want to see you on no trip talking about you living your best life if you don't have $1,000 saved in the emergency fund. Like, you all over the country, but if something happened, you got to go borrow that. It's shifting people from really begging for what they need and buying what they want, because that's what often happens. And so when you understand that money is a tool, and it'll never replace you as the driver, you drive a little different with money. And that's what it's about. Because I know people are like, oh, it's not about money. Yes, it is. Tell FP&L that. It answers all things. People are trying to convince you that, people focus. No, it's not about focusing on money. It's helping you become a steward so that you understand in the earth, faith is the currency of heaven, but money is the currency of earth. And so you can't tell FP&L, you can't tell the gas station, you can't do it answers all things. Yes. And so when you learn that no matter, I don't care if you're driving a Bentley or you're driving a Nissan Sentra, if you are the driver, it's never going to replace you as the driver.
Right.
And so when you begin to understand that you have a responsibility to properly steward everything you have, and money impacts every part of your life.
Yes, it does.
It's the number one reason for divorce.
Yes. Come on now.
It's the number one reason for anxiety and depression.
Yes. Right.
Because when your money is funny and you don't have enough, guess what? It starts impacting your body, your health. It's so many other things. And all we have to do is steward it. We tell it what to do.
Yeah,
that's right.
So that's what MoreNopoly is about. It's really about helping people understand how to really navigate and really properly steward all of the resources they have.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good. We got a comment. Someone stated, free people move differently. I'm ready to move. And then they stated, sitting here waiting for the link. So she was that Erin, she's ready to register for the next MoreNopoly, I promise. But
listen, it's a spiritual. It ain't just natural. It's spiritual. Because when you understand that I don't care whether God is your Lord and Savior or not. The Bible declares in Genesis 1:26 and 1:28, 26 to 28, that God blessed them and created them and gave them a mandate to be fruitful and multiply. So It helps you understand if you're in your life right now and you're not more multiplying, you're living beneath what God created you to live. It's beneath what he created you to live. We're to have dominion over all things. And so when you learn the discipline, you know, like you guys have this podcast, Encouraging Women. It's something, it's a God idea. It's not something you just thought about. And so when you walk in the mandate of walking these things out and you understand that he's giving you dominion over these things, he's allowed you to subdue those things, you move differently. You don't move on the earth as a beggar. You understand that you are a king. You understand that you have been given all rights and privileges and dominion. So guess what? Everything you need to operate in this realm, that's what you just got to command it. But what often happens is we don't have the resources. And so we're sitting here allowing other people to walk out things God has called us to do because we lack money. If we spend money, it obeys us. And so it's really teaching you. And when you learn that discipline, even now, I don't spend, and I've been teaching now MoreNopoly since 2022 as a group. This will be the 5th cohort that's coming up. I'm differently with my money. You know, my car is paid off. I'm in the process of now paying off my mortgage. Why? My mindset is different. You ain't really, listen, it's about being mindset. Remember, financial freedom is about time freedom.
Yes.
If you're working for someone else for 82 hours a week, what time freedom do you have? Think about it. If you have children, you're robbing your children of their time. That's why we have children that be mad with us. And all we're seeing it as, I had to provide a better life for you, but they're saying mama or daddy was never there. They were always at work. I couldn't go here. Come on now. What type of freedom is that? You're not able to spend time. So financial freedom is not just about being, it's a difference between debt-free and financial free. MoreNopoly teaches you how to be financially free.
Yes.
And so that's what I'm just really excited about. The most is really helping you become the type of person on the inside that can actually build the potential to be a millionaire on the outside. When you get that inside right, the outside doesn't matter. I can say what I'm telling you, I can say with a surety that I'll never be broke another day in my life. Ooh. But how you see that, Nethel? Because the type of person that's on the inside, you can take everything away from me. They can take my Range Rover. They can take my house. Guess what? Because I'm rich on the inside, baby, I can always produce.
Come on now.
And so that's what it's about, is really equipping you on the inside. That you don't care about what's happening. I don't care about no stock market. I don't care about who's the next president. I don't care about any of that. Because when you have something that's built on the inside of you, the outside don't matter.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, Dr. Nethel, you talked a little bit about mindset. Tell us a little bit how mindset plays a part in reference to how you perceive money or how you see money. How does that happen? Is it, I'm telling y'all, man, it's some good stuff.
It goes back to part, and I'm going to release part of what we learn in MoreNopoly is because we transition from agrarian culture through an industrial age, our mindset from the time we went to school, they wanted 2 things: train you how to be employees and train you how to be soldiers.
That's right.
Basically, we've been put in a space where we've always been told what to do. And so our mindset was not even trained, even in formal education in school. They're always teaching you, you're going to do this, you're going to go to college, you're going to work for somebody, get a job, you're going to do this. This is what you need to do. So we're always taught. So the freedom to be creative, the freedom to really learn how to not just be a consumer. You know, you go on college campuses when you're in school, guess what they got? They got credit card vendors everywhere. They're giving you a free McDonald's, giving you something free, and you just signing up, getting yourself in debt. And so what happens with your mindset is when you begin to shift your mindset, and that's why it's such a withdrawal process, is because we are used to spending. Even with a debit card. When people learn in MoreNopoly, you overspend on a debit card because they be like, no, you can't. It's what's in your account. Yes, you can. You go to Target. You're just going to get washing powder. You're going to spend $9.67. You walk out of there with your debit card. You don't spend $103 because now you don't pick up fabric softener. You don't pick up Dove soap. You don't pick up a nice t-shirt that Target don't release. Come on. So you're thinking it's not overspending. Yes, it is. The other money that was in your account, the other $90-something you spent, that was for another line item in your budget.
That's right.
So what you learn is you really begin to learn your mindset is you shift from being such a consumer. Because most of us don't understand that when you think about poverty, right?
Yes.
Most people think that it's something that we lack externally.
Right.
But what happens is poverty is really a mindset. It's something that you have shifted your mind. And a lot of people are like, I'm not in poverty. Yes, you are. I can sit down with you 5 minutes. And most of the people that have gone through MoreNopoly, because of our mindset, you begin to understand that, you know what? I don't really have this money thing down pat. You work. Who wants to go somewhere and work all their life and all you're doing is paying bills? That is not the God kind of life.
That is
He
not
said that He designed that we have life to the full in abundance until it overflows. That means I'm supposed to be able to go on a vacation and I'm not going to come back and worry about how I'm going to pay my rent, my mortgage, my lights, my car payment, and my car insurance.
Right.
Correct.
It's living to the point that when you talk about a mindset, you got to let go of see, I always say this, you got to let go of who you think you are and become who you should be.
Ooh.
Because sometimes we think of ourselves more highly. Oh, I think I need to have this. I always say it is absolutely no way. I don't care who you are. You should be driving a luxury car.
Yeah, I remember that.
Unless it's debt free. It's absolutely no way. Absolutely no way you should be doing all of this and you don't have some type of investment plan or some type of portfolio. But we're not taught that. We're taught that, I got to have a bit. That's Dr. Storm. Dr. Storm got to have a Mercedes. Oh, okay. I keep telling people that. I'm just glad the Range Rover paid off because I'm going back to a Toyota because it drives so
well.
That is so true.
But it's paid off. I ain't going to get another one. It's paid off.
I tell anybody, as a principal and a real estate agent, I drive my Corolla with so much pride because it's paid off and it's mine.
Yep.
It's mine.
Dr. Storm be like, Ash, I'm coming to pick you up. Like, come on, pick me up right now. You outside? Let's go. Like, it is so true. It's a mindset. And one thing I will say, Dr. Storm and I, we don't stop with our dreams. And we're just like, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep thriving. We know that God has such a larger platform for us. And we're just so thankful, like where we're at right now. Even so with the podcast, I think about when just stepping out on faith with the encouraging woman. I was like, I thought about so much criticism behind it. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I had to get my mind from out of that bondage, like just thinking like we can't do it. Like I said, we're just gonna push ourselves. And from the moment Dr. Storm pushed me to say, Ash, do the podcast, let's go. And she made that first phone call. I just was like, we gotta trust God, Storm. We gotta trust Him in every aspect, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, in every way possible. And even with our finances, I truly can honestly say with Dr. Storm, like we hold each other accountable. You know this from, I don't care what it is.
It's one of those things where I think the best lesson, and I always say it's good to have an accountability partner that tells you the truth.
Yep.
And I remember in MoreNopoly, because I was at the phase in my life where I was just so exhausted from operating and owning the school, trying to finish a doctorate, all in 9 months. And I just wanted to really just sleep because I felt so defeated in so many areas financially. And when we went through MoreNopoly, I want to say for the first 3 days, I'm like, okay, Ash, I'm sleeping. She's like, get up. So I'm getting up because I respect what you had produced in the world, but I was dealing with so much bondage that nobody would never knew because we wear it so well, right?
Yes.
And I could just say, I remember it was like day 5 or day 7. And when I got the word, and I just sat in my bed, it was 6 o'clock in the morning, and I sat in my bed and I cried, and I just had to lay Storm out of the way and say, God, deal with me, because when you think about finances, I felt like I was just giving so much to the school because I am the type of principal. If it boils down to me eating hot dogs and my students eating hot dogs, I'm gonna eat Roman noodles and make sure they got steak and eggs and cheese.
Come on now.
And sometimes you just go through life and you feel depleted because you don't have the certain financials. I gave up my BMW. I gave up my own apartment to move back in with my mom where I can have a dream and a vision. And when when I say God put you in places,
come on now,
and put the right people in your life.
Come on now.
And MoreNopoly changed my mindset so much that now I know that, for one, if I don't have $1,000 in my savings account, I tell people, "Quit! I'm not going nowhere.
You're not going nowhere."
I tell my mom all the time, "I'm coming home. You cook?
You."
She be like, "You ain't cook? No, you cook. We're not going out. No. You cook."
It made us so disciplined.
It did. But it also taught us that money could work for the good, because the world will teach you that money is evil.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they'll put the biblical scripture on there.
Mm-hmm.
And when MoreNopoly, see, we try not to tell everything, but it was so, I'm telling y'all, listen, for cohort 5,
y'all better come
y'all
through.
don't want to miss it, because when you think about finances,
Yeah.
it's a generational where your parents had to survive, and they woke up and they paid bills and they took care of their children.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell my students all the time, dream big.
Mm-hmm.
You can have anything you want, just dream big. You could be that entrepreneur. I teach all the time entrepreneurship. They tell me they want to be a doctor. Okay, we go open our own practice. Mm-hmm. We always tied around ownership. And that's one of the things that, going through MoreNopoly that really birthed out, especially this school year, ownership.
Yeah.
Ownership. Mm-hmm. Producers. No, I'm tired of us being consumers.
And they say if your dreams don't scare you, you're not dreaming big enough.
Ooh.
When I say, I never forget, I looked at Steve Harvey one time and he was talking about writing 300 goals. And when I say I got the 150, and I was like, whoa, this is a lot. But if your dreams don't scare you, you ain't dreaming big enough.
That's right.
And if you believe that you should have financial freedom in all aspects of your life, then you have to start manifesting that in your life. And I believe that MoreNopoly is going to be that stepping stone to just get you in that right direction of you reading your Bible every day on a daily basis. You having some type of inspiration to get through in life, because there's moments when we all feel so depleted. And I would literally go back for the day, because I was a note taker.
Yeah.
We would have to respond in Clubhouse, and I'm the one, I want to get the answer.
We rushing to get the answer.
And
then when she get it first, I'm like, oh.
So I love the interaction of it, even though it's so early in the morning. But I kid you not, there are moments when I feel depleted even now, and I go back into the notes and I'm like, hold on, Ashley, let's read in what the scriptures were that were presented during that day, and just using it as my tool to just keep going.
I go back into recordings. You guys, for 40 days, let me tell you, no day is the same. And they have these amazing moderators. And it's like, you thinking 5:30, like, oh, we're just going to be. No, they have amazing moderators. We do activities. We go through a booklet. Like, you have homework assignments where you have to actually follow up. And then at the end of, you have a major big surprise. And it just shows you, as Dr. Stephens, as the leader, how invested she is within MoreNopoly, because not only does she carry you all the way through, she carries you through the end. And I remember telling Ashley, I said, look, we're going to have to go through MoreNopoly at least once a year. Yeah. It's a non-requirement for me, because you have to always sharpen your tools. Iron sharpens iron all day.
Come on now. We always say this.
Come on.
I always say one of the things that, and that's why, part of MoreNopoly is, even the Bible talks about it in Proverbs, consider the ant. And how the ant got so much wisdom, it stores up in the summer because it knows winter is coming. Yes. And so anytime, if you're at a place in your life and you're feeling that life is unmanageable or you're hopeless, that's what MoreNopoly is. MoreNopoly is designed to give you the hope. You know what I'm saying? And so when people feel like they have a chance, and everybody has a chance, but you have to steward that chance.
Yes, you do.
Marianne Williams, I believe it's Marianne Williams, that wrote the poem that I love. And it says that our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. It is that we are powerful beyond measure. And it is our light and not our darkness that frightens us the most. And you got to ask yourself, who are you to be brilliant? Who are you to be gorgeous? Who are you to be fabulous? Who are you to be talented? And what happens is we talk ourselves down. Then she goes on to actually say, who am I not?
Wow.
And so you teach people you are born to multiply. I don't care what family you grew up in. I don't care what your zip code is. I don't care what your bank account, your credit score. I don't care what your career says. You got to know that on the inside of you, when God wove you together, if you are a man, when he blew the breath of life into you, if you are a woman, when he took the rib from Adam, you got to understand you were created to be a multiplier.
Yes.
And when you tap into the fact that you were created to be a multiplier and your only responsibility is to steward that opportunity, man, you move a little different in the earth.
Yes, you do. I move differently, y'all.
And they wonder.
So that, y'all know I'm into it. But
and people wonder why I move differently. Listen, MoreNopoly gave me a state walk, y'all.
Yeah.
Unapologetically. Going through MoreNopoly, it was one of those things where I was like, man, it was so powerful that I was able to see the fruits of God after being transformed from a broken place to come back strong and to stand 10 toes down to say, I believe in what was brought in front of me to go through scriptures in the Bible, to see certain things as money is not evil.
It's not.
Yes.
But people would tell you, oh, money is the root of all evil. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, the Bible would tell you that God has created us to multiply.
Yes.
That's good.
And one of the things that I always say, me and Ashley always go back and forth, when we talk about our finances as a young tenderonis that we is, you know, we're not going to be young tenderonis forever.
Right.
And it was an exercise during MoreNopoly that it opened my eyes so much that I said to myself, I got a plan for retirement.
Listen.
I got a plan for retirement.
Dr. Stephens, you know I got like multiple streams of income. Like I literally, when I say MoreNopoly opens so many my eyes in the aspect of, hold on, I love my job, but I like to spend time with my little baby and enjoy life. Like I want to be one of the mommies that get up and just go out and about, taking trips, taking the baby to daycare, spending time, going to his shows. Like I want to be present for my child. Right. And that is really what MoreNopoly had pushed me to recognize, like, Ash, there's more to this, baby. You don't have to work for these people.
Because you work for the people all your life. But then when you get to retirement, you find yourself working again.
Okay, because that's what I say. We teach people in MoreNopoly, we go through a phase where they start putting all their budgets and retirement plans, and we tell them how to learn what their life expectancy is. And when they look at that money, they look, I've been here 30 years and I'm going to still need to work. And so part of it is the reality of teaching people to stop telling themselves lies.
That's right.
And I always say it's a quote that says, to thy own self be true. You got to stop hiding your habits.
Yeah.
People hide their habits. People know they struggle with discipline in their finances and they spend money that they don't have and buy when they should be saving. And so it's really teaching people to stop blaming the devil. And most of the things we blame on the devil or other people is really self-sabotage.
Yeah.
And
so
then
go ahead. I'm so sorry. I
was saying what we teach you how to do is how to allow your mindset to control your assets.
Ooh, allow your mindset to control your assets. That's the aha moment.
It is. Dr. Stephens, do you feel like the way we are in terms of just having that consumer mindset, do you feel that it kind of starts from childhood or something that we probably learned from parents or?
Absolutely.
What you think, Dr. Stephens? Yeah.
It's absolutely, it's learned behavior, because I taught a mastermind called The Trauma of Poverty, and it teaches you how, you mimic what you see growing up. And money is just not a conversation that most families, especially Black families, have. Nobody sits down and teaches you, okay, so this is what we have to do. All we know is we come home, the bills are paid. We don't know that mom and daddy got to work all these jobs or they got to buy this. We pressure as kids, our parents, especially now, the pressure is on, I need this type of shoe. I need this type of shirt. So parents I've seen parents spend so much money on prom, but then you at the agency the next month to pay your rent. Come on, man.
Wow.
You spending $3,000 on a prom?
Listen, I had a mom really told me last year.
On your mortgage?
Yeah. She said, I spent my rent money for my baby's prom. I said, ma'am, no, you did not.
Yeah. Because everything is about show. And one of the things you're not teaching, what are you really teaching your child? And I always say, what are you teaching your children? And I know growing up for me, my mom taught me the value of $1. And she taught me the mindset of, yes, working. And then throughout life, I learned certain things as, you can't have it all. I can have, why not? Yeah. At the Bible that I read tell me that I can have it all. Yeah. I can have it all. Yeah. So it's one of those things where the mindset, as you said, Dr. Stephen, and just knowing that you deserve it. Yeah. But the Bible also tells you faith without works is dead.
Yep. And you got to understand that we haven't learned. The microwave started the deterioration of delayed gratification. Okay. Because it was the first thing that introduced us to getting stuff quick. Before the microwave, you had to cook it on the stove. You had to wait. Microwave came and said, "Oh, you can have this in 3 minutes. You can have this in 60 seconds." And so it started building a culture that I want what I want and I want it now. I can't wait. And so it diminished the power of delayed gratification. And I always tell people during the fast, I'm not saying not never. I'm saying not now. Right. I'm not saying you can't go on a vacation. I'm saying not now. Until you understand you're worthy of $1,000 in your savings account for an emergency fund, until you go on a vacation. Right. So it's really helping people really develop that delayed gratification. Right. And then social media has impacted even worse because we're watching everybody. Oh my God. So we're getting depressed and we're thinking we haven't met certain benchmarks in our life because we're watching this one over here, this podcast, and they got 1 million viewers and they got it all going on. And if you went and spent life with these people, you realize they really don't. And all people do on social media is they show you the highlight reels of their life. It's like going to a movie and you're watching the advertisements that they do, the highlights of the next movie to get you to buy the next movie. And so, perfect example, you had all these stars when they were on strike back and forth with Hollywood. Half of these people these stars couldn't pay their bills. But we would look at them and say they're on the big screen and they got it all. No, I know a CPA who lent several of them money.
Wow.
Once again, she's like, oh, yeah, they need MoreNopoly. Why? Because we have been convinced that it's what people think about us, and we have created this illusion. And so what we like to do in MoreNopoly is we like to help you build internally who the real person is. And you can like that person right now today. Anything can happen to any one of you guys. The skills that you've learned, I don't care. You can rebuild again. That's why I say things don't matter. That you can't threaten me about stuff. Paul said, I know how it is to have a lot. I know how it is to have a little. Stuff don't matter. You can take that because you can't take what's been developed on the inside of me.
That's right.
And so when you learn that, you take the whole and the power that people have off of you. So now no job can't threaten you. Yes. I walk into jobs. I used to always work and be like, what's the worst thing that can happen? You can fire me. I can get another job.
That's right.
You're not getting ready to threaten me to make me feel like I gotta work for you, or you gonna my career, my life is not in your hands.
That's right.
So when you develop that and you begin to transform and you understand that you develop a new mindset, when you look at the word transform, it means metanoia, which means a complete change. And so MoreNopoly gives you a metanoia. It gives you a complete change of your mindset.
Metanoia.
Come on now.
I know everybody watching, they listening. This is not even the tip of the iceberg when it comes to MoreNopoly. You just have to experience it for yourself.
You do.
I truly believe that you have to be obedient and disciplined and experience MoreNopoly for yourself. I can definitely tell you that I have not been the same since MoreNopoly. Correct. You see a different. It's amazing how God do things, because me going through MoreNopoly, I became Dr. Storm as well. So I did.
You really did.
I graduated, and then a few days within weeks, I went through MoreNopoly. Yep. And then when I came out of MoreNopoly, I had a mindset to just conquer a lot of things. It was MoreNopoly, the school, real estate. And I tell people this shit, but y'all don't even know that.
You always say you ain't seen it yet.
You have not seen it yet, but
you're tapping the oil, and I think that's why I think that's what my passion is, especially for younger people, because I always say, hey, what could you have told your younger self, Dr. Stevens?
Yes.
And you're tapping in. That's why I tell people you got to have multiple streams. You're tapping in. You're trying to figure out which one's going to strike the oil. And when you allow yourself the flexibility to tap into all those different things, you understand. I'm going to tell you, you will never become a millionaire working for other people. That's the secret. And I know CEOs and employees don't like me. Tell me a job they're going to pay you $1 million, unless you are, owner of a team or you NFL football coach. But the jobs that we have, the average employee, they're never going to pay you $1 million to work for them.
That's right.
You're never. And so you have to begin to think about what else can you do? How else can I add value in the market?
Right.
And when can I prioritize myself? I've been prioritizing your needs. And I tell people, I don't tell people to quit their jobs. What I tell people to do is, and I let them know in MoreNopoly, you will put more on this earth than to be just an employee.
Come on.
I want you to know that. I want you to not quit your job. I want you to allow your job to help you build and fund your business. But you got to understand you're more than just that. And so when you understand, you could be listening to this today and think, you're frustrated where you're at. It's because there's more to you than what you've been doing. It's more to you. And until you begin to yield to that, whatever that frustration is, and say, I don't know what it is, like you did, you, Ashley and Storm, you started this podcast, and what you're thinking that we're just doing this to help people. It's not, you're probably not doing it to money. It's those things that God said, okay, I'm finna breathe on this. And now it's getting ready to go out into the world. You're thinking it's just something that you're doing. And so you got to give yourself the freedom to do it.
That's the key. That's good.
That's real good.
That's real good.
You see, my cheeks been high all the whole time.
I'm just enjoying this conversation. I kid you, I'm just sitting here. You're just soaking up all the information, like a little sponge. That's how I feel today. This has been some really good information for our audience. I just pray that this is blessing everybody like never before. And Dr. Stephens, I know we touched a little bit about the cohort 5. Do we have any information yet to provide to our listeners tonight, our viewers tonight?
Absolutely. So originally, cohort 5 was supposed to start April 1st, Financial Literacy Month. But I had a lot of different things that were going on, and I had to prioritize, figure out, what would be, because I want to make sure every cohort is different.
Yes.
I want to make sure every cohort gets its best, because I have moderators that are involved. And so we're going to launch it. The flyer will be posted on Thursday, actually.
Okay.
The registration link will go live on Thursday. It is going to start June 10th. Okay. And so you can register now, because I have a lot of my moderators are teachers, work for the school system, and I wanted to get them through the end of this school year. We're going to start right on in the summer, and we're going to start June 10th, but you can register now. And I'm really excited about Cohort Grace, because it's the 5th one. Because I got a different Cohort Grace. I got a little different tool to add this time, and some things that we've learned in talking about some of the people that have gone through MoreNopoly, but we're really excited about this 5th cohort. And this is gonna be our God cohort. This is gonna be the cohort that you will begin to see even more testimonies that will come forth from people that have been in it. Because this is a movement. I'm telling you, this is a movement. I never set out to. And when I remember speaking to Ingrid, who partners with me, and I'm like, I don't even want to do my business no more. I'm telling you, I don't like nothing I do with Stephens Group no more. My passion is MoreNopoly. That's how you know it's a calling. Because it's major. And I'm like, God, I'll give up everything if it means setting your people free. Moses goes and God comes and says, I've heard the cries of my people. I feel like MoreNopoly is my Moses journey. God said, Dr. Stephens, I've heard the cries of my people, and I'm sending you to deliver them from the hand of Pharaoh. And so I'm really excited about this 5th cohort, because it's going to be something a little different. It's going to challenge and push people, because part of it is going to be in person. And so that's what I'm really excited about. We do a lot of things virtually, but for those that are local, it's going to be a push once a week to come in person. And I think that's going to be different for our moderators, for the people that are signed up. But listen, if you want something you've never had, you got to do something.
That's right.
Do something.
Talk about that.
Somebody told me that if I showed up somewhere 5:30 every morning for 40 days, and at the end of it, they're going to give me $3 million, baby, I wouldn't care where I had to drive. I'm going to show up.
Come on now. We're going to show up.
And so I believe, once a week, it's going to be in person. And so I'm excited about that. And so I need the time to break that to my moderators, because they're going to be like, huh?
They probably listen like,
what you mean? What you mean? But I think it's time to take it up another notch. I really do. I think it's time to pick it up another notch. Getting up 5:30 ain't nothing. That's why it's called a fast. You got to afflict that flesh. That's what it is. When we fast in the old ways, we couldn't eat. We had to afflict. So it's about getting up out of your bed, being active, turning on your lights. And so June 10th is going to be cohort 5. We're excited. But the link will go live on Thursday. It's still the same $4. It's $1 a day. And so that's what I'm excited about.
Yes. This is good.
Guys, you have to follow Dr. Stephens on Facebook. Her name is Nethel Stephens, as you guys see her name.
With the blue check mark.
Okay. Also follow her on Instagram. That is also where the information will be listed. Nethel Stephens on Instagram.
And our pages.
Of course, we will be sharing the information as soon as it's available on Thursday. And it will be posted on your website as well, Dr. Stephens?
Yes.
Yes. And can you shout that out? Can you go ahead and tell us the website?
It's www.mystevensgroup.com. And the Stephens is with the PH. It's mystevensgroup.com.
Yes, PHENS.
This is gonna be good. I'm gonna tell y'all, I believe in this so much. I told my teachers, my faculty and staff members, they would have to pay the initial $40 to go through the cohort. And once they successfully go through and complete all of the steps, I will reimburse them personally through my own funds. That's how much I believe in it.
Listen, I'm here for it. Dr. Stephens, you make sure you let us know if the price is still going to be 40, because, yesterday's prices aren't today's prices. So
she says $2.
It's going to be still going to be 40.
Which I believe, the what we get out of it. It can easily be couple thousand.
Listen, no, seriously, I'm telling you. It's gonna be there at some point. I guarantee. Just wait. Yeah, I see it.
But knowing Dr. Stephens,
she has a moderate fee.
40 years from now, it's still gonna be $40. Because you know what? She has a heart of giving.
Yeah, she does.
And the heart is so huge that it's really. And I once heard Dr. Stephens say, is you have to be accountable.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why you're paying the 40.
Yeah.
But if it was up for her, it would be free.
It would definitely be free.
It definitely would be free.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you. Any closing remarks, Dr. Stephens, before we close out?
Listen, y'all smiling, but I'm smiling because to just see the transformation in both of your lives is just, my heart is happy. And I'm excited. I want to encourage you guys to keep moving forward, keep having your guests on, keep providing the information. And I'm telling you, Amos 9:13.
Come on now.
That's one of my favorite scriptures. And I love it in the Message Bible, because one of the things it says in the Message Bible, it reads, all the Bibles are good, but when it says it in the Message Bible, it starts out and says, it won't be long now, God's decree.
Ooh, come on now.
Thank you,
Lord. It won't be long now, God's decree. And that is my decree to you guys, that it won't be long now. Keep on plugging, keep on going, keep on doing everything. Because it says it won't be long now, God's decree. Things are going to happen so fast, your head is going to swim. One thing fast on the heels of the other. You will not be able to keep up. Everything will be happening at once. And everywhere you look, Dr. Storm, and everywhere you look, Ashley, blessings.
Yes.
And so that's my decree and declare to you that you to have
we receive it.
And I'm so grateful to you guys.
We appreciate you so much. You already listen. Dr. Stephens celebrated a birthday just recently. She turned the 5 and the 1.
Yes,
the
51.
The 5 and the 1. 51.
51.
We are so grateful for you. I mean, each podcast, we can't thank you enough for everything you're doing in our lives, the seeds you're pouring into us. I know I told you son, I know my mom is in heaven just so thankful for you to be in my life. Like, because listen, mom leaving the earth was just one of those things, right? And I'm sure she's looking down, just smiling like, thank you, Dr. Stephens.
That's right.
If she could say it to you in person, she would say it. So I thank you so, so very much. And we got a gift for you. We're going to take a picture later on so everybody can see it.
We thank you.
We got a gift
so
for you.
Much, Dr. Stephens. You are true. As I tell anybody, that's she's my Maya Angelou. You guys could definitely see it. I will share her with the world just a little bit, not a lot.
Just a little bit. Y'all can't have all of her because we got her.
Correct. But this was amazing, guys. Please make sure that you sign up for MoreNopoly. It's one of those things where it's transformation, and you would never be the same. I sit here and I have my mindset is different, and the things that I do and speak and I feel, and I know who I am. Yeah. So this was great.
This was good. I'm so glad we finally got you on. We appreciate you so much. We love you so much.
You guys.
Yes. And we just want to thank our sponsors. We appreciate our tech team. We so thankful for you guys.
And these
comments are on fire, y'all. We're going to get it to the point where we can actually see them popping up continuously, because I kid you not, we toggle back and forth and trying to look at all of our pages. But we're going to get to the point where we can truly see it and just give you guys shout outs and things that you guys are saying. I see the fire in the chat, man. The fire. If y'all see, y'all still on with us, just drop some fire.
That's some hearts.
Drop some fire. Drop some hearts. Thank y'all so much. We just love this energy. And we are thankful, and we can't wait to tell you guys our next guest for the month of April that's coming very soon.
Yes. And please don't forget to buy your gala tickets.
Yes.
May 11th.
May 11th.
Our very own Ashley D is the keynote speaker. I know she's ready to bring the fire and everything else that comes along with it. And it's truly powerful. Yeah. Our first gala, Dr. Nethel Stephens was the keynote.
Yes, she was. And she brought the house down, y'all. I got some big shoes to fill, y'all.
You do. But you can find the ticket purchases on www.redlearning. Yes. Red is spelled with 2 D's, learning.org, or you could just inbox myself or Ashley. Yeah. And, I'm just super excited.
Yeah, it's all going to come together.
We love y'all. We thank y'all. Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for encouraging us.
That's number one. Yeah. Because this is the Encouraging Woman podcast, but we need our supporters always to share, comment, and just continue giving us encouragement each week. Y'all love what we're doing. DM us, comment, share the post. That small share goes a long way.
That's right.
So we're thankful for it.
And happy Sisterhood Month to all my ladies. Let's love on each other. Yes. I always say you could be married with children, but you always need your sister.
You sure do.
And you ladies and you guys, I don't want to forget about my men. We love y'all too.
We love y'all.
Have a good night. This was good. Thank you, Dr. Stephens.
Good night, Dr. Stephens. We love y'all.